help them. But will be Lighthouse to kick us off.
Alrighty. This is a big test for O2 team. If they're able to win this without Humbaba, that would be such a story, such an upset. And they would deserve the playoffs they may earn through that tiebreaker. Remember, they need either a 4-0 or a 3-1. The 3-1 would force the tiebreaker. The 4-0 would guarantee them their spot and would also guarantee Geekstar his spot. If Geekstar had won any map yesterday, then that would have prevented that scenario where they might actually not make it. But they had a pretty bad night of Overwatch last night.
Yeah, and if they had won the series, they would have locked in their spot for the first season of 2019. But they didn't do that.
Nope.
Instead, here we are. Could have total and utter chaos by the end of the day. WGS just going to be pushing out. Will be the 3-3, but Ryan versus Winston. The difference in compositions up onto the high ground. Wiley just going to be zapping away. Couple members taken low on the side of WGS. Gargoyle down below half HP, trying to get topped back up. Stun up comes through. Wiley the first one to drop as Pelican takes the kill. Fantastic start. That's going to be WGS postured forward into the point. And they can go ahead and get this initial cap.
You could tell by Wiley's dive there, and he's going to swap to the Ryan, but you could tell by his dive that it was a little bit indecisive. He wanted to try to knock Karayan down because he was low, but then went for the support afterwards.
DPI trying to be sneaky there. Looking for a knockoff, unable to find it though.
Yeah, the swap to the Ryan is pretty necessary. At least he's not too far behind an ult charge. That fire strike he tossed out puts him only 10% behind.
Gonna push forward again, up onto the high ground. Poking him from above. A lot of damage forward onto Wiley, and the fire strike. As he looks at the side, will go ahead and clip him. Now further push forward, zip their way through. Mondu will take down Climax. And that's going to be a very fantastic start for WGS, winning the next fight after getting the cap already 30% plus.
Back in the Rox Orcas days, Krong played a lot of Diva, but he's flexing now versus DPI, who's had a more historically this group stage successful Diva. That matchup's not going so well in terms of ult charge build here in DPS. Self-destruct already ready here, and again he's going to look for the knockoff.
Yeah, doesn't have it. We'll just go ahead, drop down. Rally going to be coming out from Arrow to try to keep them alive. Matching Rally here from Pelican, charge forward. Wiley again, the first one to be taken down. Now looking for a bit more. Pelican chases in deep. We'll just get booped back. Final kill will be there onto Hiley. Ultimate still online. Shatter ready to go from Karayan. Wiley struggling to get any charge. Currently just sitting at 45%.
Yeah, and DPI set a lot of this fight up with that self-destruct he launched out. It wasn't really shown on screen, but kind of forced them to fight in that choke they didn't want to fight in. Karayan now can set up for this big shatter in that very same choke point. They're going to take the high ground. Look at that fire strike damage coming through.
Yeah, Hiley falling down below half. Wiley as well, getting battered. Transcendence coming down. We'll just be connecting in with that pin to the Zenyatta. So no kills to be found, but now with the grab, locking them all up. Gargoyle finds the first one. Wiley going to go down. The bomb from Krong, however, answers back. 3, now 4. As DPI gets popped out of the mech. Absolutely huge explosion coming through from the Flex Diva player here. But can they get the flip? It's 99%. A couple members here will now be taken down. So it seems like the answer is going to be yes. They finally take us in overtime. WGS going to be looking for that foot back to go ahead and close out the first round.
They had to use everything for this, though, unfortunately, for O2, so they don't have a lot of great tools for the follow-up pushes that we are going to see from WGS Armament, the first of which will be a rally push. You have to imagine as Pelicans at 92%. All it's going to take is a little bit of healing or some left-click action there to make that happen. And then they can look for the fight with the Shatter. They can flank it. DPI is not going to get knocked off here. They're going to approach from the high ground.
Bumping down, Shatter coming through, going to be a solo in onto Wiley as they try to take him out. Hiley now, Transcendence online, but it's a bit too late to try to keep that line alive. The pin from Karayan does take him down. Karayan himself under fire. Zarya Bubble coming through, still going to be holding up the shield. Not really offering too much charge over to Gargoyle, but just making sure that he can stay alive and in the mix. Cap getting ready to come through. They finally start contesting this one again. Nearly there. Boop off from Mondu finds Arrow. Climax going to be eliminated. The flip comes in. Only 41% gains for O2 team. A bomb thrown down from DPI. Looking for a pick. Looking to zone them back. Takes it back into the mech. Wiley on the rejoin will just be eliminated off the bat. OT starting to tick down as Rain just tries to tag in repeatedly. Just moving around the corner here. Graviton Search locks up Arrow. They burn him down. Hiley now joining in with the Transcendence pop. Rain coming through from the back. moving him off to the side. Rally going to be in from Pelican just to really help seal the deal. Grab out from Climax, going to be eaten. Final kill into Highly, and they will go ahead and pick up the first round here. WGS take Lighthouse. That
was a really nice re-engage from WGS where they approached the high ground. DPI secured that spot first. He preemptively rocket boosted over to make sure that, you know, the flexing diva there, Krong, could not actually control that zone. And then it was just a late bubble after we saw Karayan toss down the Earth Shatter there onto Wiley. And then Wiley was the first to die, and things started to fall apart from there. Still a pretty heroic stand by Rain, tagging in and out, surviving there. Grav coming through later from Climax. Might have turned the fight around had it not been eaten, had they been able to get onto the point. But a very, you know, classical reapproach there from WGS. Just not even taking any risks, just making sure the Shatter was going to be good. If the bubble hits Wiley, maybe they have a tougher time and they have to look for, you know, a follow-up push with a Grav, but it was good enough. All you need is that one pick on the tank, and you should be able to get a reflip every time.
Good damage coming through so far from Climax. He's going to be over onto the Widowmaker. Arrow coming through with the Tracer, so changing things up a bit is O2.
Yeah, Ruins exclusive kind of style here, and it's working pretty well so far to keep WGS Armament off of the point. They will be able to speed boost their way onto it now.
Drop down into the back from DPI. They have the Ryan leading the charge. Coming in around the backside, Wiley. Going to be trying to poke out where he can. So far, not finding too many targets. Now we'll just join up into the front. Cap comes through, however, for WGS. They lock that down right as Krong dies. With him flexing over onto the Brigida here. So Diva-less composition from O2.
Ooh, and Arrow got the wrong end of a shield bash there as Myungbong survives, takes out Highly. But look, I mean, this is an older style where you have the Tracer and the Widow kind of looking for the same target. The Winston comes in and finishes those off. But when you lose control of the first flip against an enemy Rhine and Zarya, you've got to try to match it. You know you're going to be behind an ult charge, but that's just the way of the meta. Really unfortunate here, but Arrow is also going to be significantly behind in rally charge, so reapproaching is so difficult without that armor.
A lot of damage through here onto the members of O2 as they try to approach the point. 100 energy from Gargoyle. Rally out from Pelican, so armored up Zarya. Wiley, however, does find a pin onto Pelican. Seems like he's not going to be punished for that overextension. Transcendence in from Myungbong to keep the rest of the team topped up. Grab nearly online here. Climax trying to match as best as possible. Closer and closer himself, but now Krong demeched. No one to eat this grab. Will just be thrown down. Shatter in from the side. Catches up to DPI. Going to be popped out of the mech, but does have the self-destruct. We'll go ahead. Invest the ultimate just to make it back through the suit. Wiley going to be taken down, and that will be WGS holding firmly.
Really nice control here of the choke. Arrow's finally going to have that rally. Dies though, so he's staggered. Nice chase kills.
Looking up a double there at the end. He's nearly got another Transcendence online now.
Yeah, he's just shooting these right down through the, you know, straight line between the pillars. The only spots he can hit. He's going to have the Trance. And O2 is going to have such a big challenge coming through against his Trance now with the grab. It's the only tool for them to retake their last shot.
Shatter, oh boy, going to be catching absolutely everyone there.
That's
the first one dead. Climax going to be taken out. DPI will get popped out of the mech by Highly. Pushing forward though with the Transcendence. Myungbong helping to keep them all topped up. Back cap getting ready to come through. Not sure if anyone's going to be able to go to match that. Looks like the answer is going to be no, so the flip does come in for O2 team.
That was an incredible play from Arrow. Getting that kill there with the combo and the whip. That buys them some time.
Yep, Krong now going to be knocked out. Just the self-destructor not going to be able to find anything. Rain just, again, pushing his way in and out of the point. Just trying to keep this one contested as best as possible. Trying to keep control of this. Graviton Surge going to be coming down from Climax. Locks him up. Pile driver maybe on top of everybody. No, not going to happen, but they still get a massive shatter on the back of the grab. And that will be cleanup time for O2 team as they start building up some percentage.
It's crazy that O2 is able to do this after Climax was picked. If they hadn't got that counter kill with Arrow on the Brigida, then none of this works out. None of this happens. They're still not in a great position by any means, and they used all their ults there minus the supports to make it happen. Arrow's going to swap back over to the Brigida. The biggest scary thing, though, is this grab right here. They have a sound barrier ready, but the Trance is not. Gonna have to be well timed from Rain.
Just throws it straight here onto the ramp, locking him in. Sound barriers out from Rain. Highly nearly with that Transcendence. Needs it online, but it's not gonna be in time to keep Wiley in the fight. They lose out on him. Highly gonna get popped actually before he can even use the ultimate. Gargoyle just burns him down. Karayan comes up with another one as O2 team lose out on so many members. Climax throws the Graviton Surge right as he dies. lock somebody up, but there's no one there to pick up any kills. WGS nearly closing this one out. The OT bar starting to plummet. Hero pushes his way in with the Wrecking Ball. Pile driver down. It's the adaptive shield, but they lock him in. They take him out. Transcendence here, Hiley just trying to keep Wiley topped up, but as soon as it expires, he drops like a sack of bricks. And now it's just going to be one after the other. You would expect Gargoyle with his high energy. Zarya is just melting everybody who stands in his way. And they will go ahead, clean up Rain, and that will be the finish. WGS take the victory on Achilios. O2 team now, if they want to force that three-way tie, have to win the next 3 maps straight.
Yep, they will have to do that if they want to keep their chances of playoff alive. The swaps that came through from O2 after they tried the Widow Tracer was what really killed them there. The ult efficiency for WGS was so much better as a result. And DPI is literally lapping and running circles around Krong in terms of DPS and ult charge building. We talked about this a little bit last week, but I want to highlight it again. If you look at the UI, it's kind of a Korea exclusive thing. China usually does this, but if you look at the UI that we have, you're going to see that we have tank, DPS, and then support. And in this meta, obviously DPSs are playing tanks, but that's still how it's showcased in the UI. But you notice that DPI actually takes the Zarya slot.
Yep.
And not the Diva slot. That's because he's actually a DPS player who plays Diva. And usually most Zaryas are played in this league by a DPS player right now. But because WGS got to make their roster a little bit later, and they're making it based off of this meta, not based off of previous history, like players like Recry, got on the roster based on hit scan play, etc. Because of that, he's a very accurate Diva. He gets a lot of damage done. He's got good sense of how to maximize that damage from high ground and low ground. Not to say that the best Divas in the world don't automatically do that, but you could see it in his play versus Krong, who's a little bit rusty on the Diva right now, and that is a bit of a it makes a big difference when you make that sort of direct comparison between these two Diva players. So
it does.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, that's one map out of the way. Like we said, it has to be a 3 straight victory for O2 team if they are going to keep their playoffs hopes alive. Otherwise, WGS and Geekstar would just be advancing. So one more map win effectively will go ahead and seal that deal for WGS, and they can feel pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, they certainly are going to look for big turnaround here. I'm
trying to keep this up this entire time.
Yeah, it's been pretty challenging, but I think we're going to get through it.
Yeah.
Testing our hand strength here, I guess, a little bit. The stamps that you see on everyone's hands, by the way, are how you re-enter the studio after you get your first ticket check. For those wondering, because we saw a lot of those on camera today.
Well, no changes to be had.
Nope.
Not going to be seeing Flora, not going to be seeing Decal. It'll just be the same rosters. O2 team making their map pick. Going to be Hollywood? No, Nimbani.
Nimbani, okay. By the way, PD gave me confirmation that I was right. Nimbani is the play on the Q-tip.
Okay, there we go.
So, Nimbani, this is going to be a map where you've got dive potential for O2. So it's going to be, I think, on the back of Wiley's Winston and some other strong coordination around that to get this A cap on the attack. On defense, I think we're probably just going to see more 3-3 from them. DPI is really outclassing Krong right now in the Diva versus Diva, and there's just nothing you can do about that on the fly. Nothing is going to change DPI's experience on this hero. You can't fix that between Game 1 and Game 2.
No, you cannot. Well, let's see if we get any crazy comps here on Nimbani. Or if it'll just be pretty standard. So far, it's a pretty good look.
Yeah, the Climax and Arrow, Sombra, and Genji duo has been seen before to middling success in the past. But he will swap over, it looks like, to the Brigida for extra safety. But this is certainly something they could have run. And we have seen not only O2 run this, but many teams in Korea run throughout this group stage. On the other side of things, WGS's attack. Looks like they want to run a Reinhardt variation here. I don't know if that will really be the right move on this map.
They're just going to go for the 3-3 after scouting with this Sonic Arrow here.
Yeah, but it's a Rein 3-3, not with the Winston.
Yeah.
Bit odd for this map, generally speaking.
Could just be Ryan's comfort here that they're prioritizing. We'll find out. See how this goes.
gives Climax a lot more room to breathe with on the Sombra versus the Rhine, and no Winston to chase him down.
Rain getting tagged up already, nearly eliminated. I believe that would be coming from Myeonbong. In onto the point, nearly the first hit going to be grabbed. Krong just playing up at the corner. Ryan will be able to force him back. So the first hit going to be grabbed here. Stun coming through. No real follow-up, though, on the back of Arrow's shield bash.
Yeah, Wiley just took too much damage.
It's going to be ticking up. Climax picked off by Pelican. Now the second tick getting ready to come through. They gain it. This could just be a straight-up victory on A. Yeah, they're cutting back. They'll just surrender this. 5:40 on the clock.
A very passive take here, but they had to give it away. Wiley tagged in a bit too late, and then the shield bash that we saw from Arrow, as you said, was very mistimed, I guess is the best way to put it. They didn't have anything ready for that. They were around the corner. They couldn't see where they needed to collapse in on, and it's rough when you're playing the Winston and you can't find an angle, but when you just get shoved off like that, re-engaging is so tough.
Yeah, had to jump in way beforehand rather than allow them to just push forward onto the low ground. They're highly going to be charging forward. Does have that Transcendence up. Myeonbong now getting his own, will be matching. Strong zipping his way back. Shatter coming down, locks up a few. Zarya Bubbles helps save them for a little bit longer, but in the end, everybody going to be dead around the card. Still just going to be swinging away. Ryan building up nicely for that next Shatter.
And with how little damage WGS did on their first attack, there wasn't a lot of healing for Rain to do. They saw the trance was used early, so Ryan was able to just come in and Shatter knowing there's not going to be any answer for the Shatter, no barrier. It was kind of a sloppy Shatter coming out, to be honest, but he knew that even if he hit a few, it was going to be good enough with no support ultimates available. You can reasonably know, like, Rain's not going to have that sound barrier because they just gave up the point without fighting.
Yeah.
He's at 72% now, but, you know.
Not going to have that. You know that the Winston already used the bubble. Now he's going to be out of the fight, so nothing to block that Shatter, so might as well go for it. Krong pushing forward, nearly taken out of the mech. Does have that self-destruct online. Speaking of which, DPI will be using his, but will not find a pickoff. Climax has the bubble, keeps himself alive. Krong going back forward, does take down Pelican. The sound barrier a little bit too late for Mondu to try to keep the Brigida in the fight. Pushing forward, Graviton Surge locks them up. Ryan will be taken down. DPI popped out of the mech, and now just kind of cleaned up time on the remaining members of WGS as they try to escape.
I have to give really big credit to Krong for how he's playing the Diva right now, because when we talked about the differences between him and DPI, it's kind of damage maximization, better for DPI. But he is taking every risk, and when you're behind like this and the point is 1 meter away, you've got to be greedy, you've got to look for that self-destruct build. He almost got demeched for it, but he's taking big risks when it matters most. If he plays safe and they're this far behind, you know, you're not going to get as much out of that, so I respect his decision-making here a lot.
Yeah, solid retake for O2. Can they hold on to it is going to be the question here. Charging forward, Karayan goes over towards the cart, taken down. The Transcendence not going to be enough to keep him alive, so now they lose out on the main tank. The chance of throwing down that Shatter, luckily did not lose it in the fight, but the Transcendence does go away here. Myeonbong building those up pretty rapidly, so maybe not the worst case thing for them, but they are going to be down support ultimates comparatively.
Certainly true. Just watching Rain, he's going to go back up here on the high ground. Has a good way to sound barrier from there, as well as knock off any annoying divas who want to get that high ground headshot damage done. DPI has been looking for that all night long so far.
Grab coming in. Climax locks them up, looking for the kills. Pelican, the first one to fall, answering. Grab does come through. Sound barrier is going to be there for O2 team. Karayan dead. And again, no chance at a Shatter. DPI unable to use the bomb in for the bigger bang combo. WGS held at bay quite nicely by O2 team.
Yep. Just to talk about Rain again for a second, he went up on the high ground there at first because he thought maybe we'd see, you know, that commitment of DPI onto the high ground and to knock him down. But notice the second that didn't happen, he went right down to the low ground because the animation and how sound barriering works. If you're on the high ground trying to use it up there, you might miss some of the members, and if you're trying to do it from high to low ground, you're gonna have a long drop before you touch the ground, just where that sound barrier comes. So smart to get down.
Okay, that's gonna be the Shatter in. Self-destruct in from Krong, looking for the pick. DPI does get taken down by Krong, but answers back with a triple with his own ult. Nicely done. That will be the push here on to B.
Yep,
for
good setup.
WGS.
Good setup by Mondu. Gets back there, gets that knockback, and then it's a triple. Absolutely worth your pilot form life. Make that one happen.
Oh yeah.
Was a bit of a shaky push there for WGS, but they do make the big play here. As long as Hailey can hold this trance, though, this push could be held for a long while. Gargoyle still doesn't even have the grab yet.
3 minutes, decent time drain so far for O2. Arrow going to be taken down, however, the Transcendence too late from Hailey to save the Brig's life. Will just be Pushing back over towards the spawn, trying to keep himself up. Wrong, however, will be taken down.
That was a bit of a weird trance from Hailey because, you know, sure, it was a bit of a panic moment where you see Myungbong trances late and you're like, okay, well, now we can win this sustain fight.
But now they have the grab.
Exactly, now they have the grab and you don't have that. So
you also don't have a sound barrier.
Nope.
So very far away. Gargoyle going to be looking for the opportunity, pushing forward, does get stunned up, falls low. Trying to keep track of Prong and his positioning here. Bubble coming down, helping to keep Orion alive. Got taken very low. Grab's going to be coming out from Climax. Locks him up right here on the corner. Rain trying to contest the cart in the back. He's going to be the only one left alive. Will be taken down. 2:04, the finishing time here for WGS as they get the completion on Nimbani.
Had he saved the grab, you know, everyone got low there mostly just because the control from Gargoyle there and the Zarya energy management was so good that everyone basically got insanely low, and then he was able to grab and finish them off. When everyone got low, they could have re-engaged using the trance, and the grab would not have been viable, actually, in that moment. But he used it because he thought, we're going to win this trade. You know, we saw the trance come out early there from Myungbong, so if we match that, then we win this fight, but they lost it. They were thinking about the short term, not the long term there. It's kind of a really weird thing to discuss and talk about, but there's a lot of psychological mind games that go on when the trance versus trance, what, you know, I called the Omnic folk dance back in season 1. So when you go for the trance first, sometimes you can win a fight through that because you timed it better, but the second trance comes out, you lose out. And that's what Hailey was hoping for is, we have this healing just a little bit later, so we're going to have the better healing when the fight happens, because while both trances are active, neither team is really taking damage, but once theirs runs out and you still have yours, then you win the fight in that moment. But when you fail there, and then they have the grab, even if you defend, they come back with the grab, you're not going to have it. That's the short-term reaction that Hailey had rather than thinking about the longer term, which is not specifically his issue. Could have been a shot called, hey, toss out the trance, please trance, you know.
Yeah.
Could have been a shot caller decision either way. It cost them. Now it's a 2-minute time bank.
Well, will just be the standard 3-3 we would expect. Yep, Arrow swapping back over onto the Brigida. Looked like he was just going for a blind sleep dart to maybe catch a Sombra in case they were hovering nearby, but no Sombra to be found. WGS just going to be waiting with a 3-3 of their own. Will be Winston versus Winston. Wiley not going to be trying the Reinhardt on attack, despite the fact that it went so very well for Karayan. Pushing up onto the high ground here, left-hand side on the approach. DPI going to find the first kill, takes down Wiley. And that will be the follow-up. Climax now eliminated. Chase forward coming through, but Karayan takes in a lot of damage. Barely makes it around the corner. 4 HP at one point there.
Good bubble there from Gargoyle. Gargoyle has really leveled up his play. I mean, I know I've been saying it all evening long so far, even as far as when we were talking about the two rosters, but the guy's making big plays here. That bubble keeps him alive just long enough for that extra armor pack. O2 needs to do something with this push. Like, they need to at least build most of a grab, or they're going to be in some serious trouble.
Here onto the point, Ryan dropping back down, looking for that stomp damage. Not going to be able to find it. Keeping sustained here for the moment. Goes a little bit low, jumps up. Rain finds Myungbong, taking him down while he's 10% away from that Transcendence. O2 team nicely postured here onto the point. They have good control, and they might just be able to take it straight up here on the second attack. DPI now going to get popped out of the mech. Orion, no one off the side, so yeah, that will just be the finish here as O2 cleans up. So a very healthy time bank for them on the Streets phase. 5 minutes just about on the clock.
Yeah, really nice timing for the rally there as well towards the end of the fight, just to guarantee the cap, but also will make sure that everyone keeps the armor. And they've got double support ultimates ready here for the ensuing grab that we'll see from Gargoyle. Playing far forward with their tank line to spot the approach. It's the carts being pushed by the supports. Very common to see this. See Krong come and tag in because he's faster. Rally coming in for Pelican. This WGS is going to look for that grab around this bus.
On their way up, they do halt the cart here for the moment. Transcendence going to be up from Myungbong. Climax now. Grab online, could go for the bigger bang combo. Now that Zen ults down, that's going to be the grab coming through. Bomb thrown straight up into the air. Sound barriers out. Both self-destructs coming in, but Krong, he's the one that finds the triple kill. Mandu and Myungbong both going to be eliminated. No supports now in the fight. Just DPI left. they'll be popped out, and O2 team can continue to steamroll down the street here towards B.
Yeah, that was really well done by Krong, because again, the transfer from Hylie was a little bit questionably timed. He matched Myungbong, so that meant that the grab was going to potentially be massive, but Krong is able to save them with really good placement, and that's all that really was. I like this wily attempt here to grab the Zen in the back. Good armor pack there. Save him.
Primal Rage going to be coming through, looking for the knockoff. That's going to be Myungbong off the side. Ryan dead in the front line at the same time. A couple more smacks coming through. Dangerously low here from Mondu. Will be finished off. Completion onto B. Just about to come through. O2 team tearing it up with this attack. WGS, they need to stabilize quickly.
Ooh, I love this swap too.
Yep, just straight back, go for the Reinhardt.
But you know, Wily, if he could play like this every match, you know, that was an incredible set of plays, from the dive on the Myungbong into the Primal, and the swap afterwards, getting that take with the Winston, then knowing immediately, let's swap over to the Rhine. Like, that was a great set of plays right there from Wily. You know, we were a little bit critical of him earlier, but I mean, God, that was fully correct. Everything.
100 energy here. Climax, another grab online. Throwing him in yet again. The self-destruct's coming through, looking for the pickoffs. Not going to be able to find any this time. Wily does take down Pelican. Shatter out, however, from Orion. Locks him up. That'll be the kills coming through. Myungbong just keeping his team topped up with that Transcendence. The wipe about to happen as Krong gets finished off. Hylie will be sniped, you would expect. There you go. Myungbong able to get it in the end. So the wipe comes through. WGS, they do stabilize. How long can they hold this corner for is the question, to try to drain that clock down.
Yeah, Gargoyle's just desperately trying to get this grab because they love to use that as their primary hold tool. He still has 90+ energy, so he's like, please walk into these right clicks, please give me a chance. But O2 is going to take the high ground approach and limit how much ult charge he can build. Climax has his grab already, so this is a huge opportunity before Myungbong has the trance. But he's going to have to get it through there, and he doesn't have a positional advantage on DPI right now to use it, and he doesn't have high energy, so yeah, waiting for the speed boost. Ooh, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, tagged up quite a bit, falling low. Go ahead, top back up, gets it straight into the plant, locking him in. Self-destruct out from DPI, looking for a pick. Will not be able to find any, but so far, WGS only going to be losing out on Cry, but as I say that, the Shatter comes down from Wily. They get 3 more kills. The pin is there. Myungbong going to be eliminated. Does have the Transcendence. Should be able to recontest here to try to drain that clock down, but right now, O2 team looking to get a finish on Nimbani with a superior time bank.
Wily is having the game of his life right now. A perfect Shatter into that charge there onto Myungbong. Gives them this opportunity here. Trance coming out later.
They'll push their way back in. Transcendence up from Myungbong. They do have a Graviton Surge ready to go, but Hylie and Rain both about to have their ults online. WGS severely lacking in that department. The Shatter comes down. They almost pop Wily. They're unable to do so. Now the sound barrier in as the grab locks them all into the wall. No kills to be found yet for WGS as they desperately try to drain down this clock. Ryan dangerously low, shield flips over, keeps himself safe. Now they find the kills. Krong and Wily go down as Mondu comes up with a double kill, answering grab out from Climax, but he's down to half HP. Fire Strike clips him, DPI hounds him down, gets the kill, and WGS will be able to hold them off 1.5 meters away from the finish.
And that was definitely a grab they should have saved. Climax knew that he wanted to make the risky play to make sure they could guarantee the better time bank there. He also knew that it was going to be the only grab he was going to have when WGS does not have support ultimates, because they will on this next push. But still, you can't be using it like that when everyone else on your team is already dead. It's a really rough time here. Once again, Wily's going to have to be the hero with the high ground Shatter. He's not even taking the high ground. It's too predictable. He's going to come on the low ground. And this is really risky stuff for O2. Every decision they make now could cost them this game and this series in their playoffs.
Pushing their way forward, bomb into the back. Just trying to make them turn around here. Orion with a Shatter ready to go. Gets the kill on a Wily, might not have to use it. Shield comes up as he pushes himself back into the corner. Myungbong picking up a double kill here.
That was just Myungbong maximizing the damage there at range. Now he's chasing for those kills. He's already got the trance, so doesn't even really need anything more. This is O2's last chance. They lose this, and playoffs are done. No tiebreaker, nothing. The rest of the 6 maps we're watching tonight will be irrelevant for that.
Yep.
So this is their last moment right now, right here. While they look for the Shatter, double support ultimates available for their enemies.
Shatter coming down, locks up 4. Pin in, 3 kills instantly appearing. 44 seconds remaining, 1 more chance for O2 team to try to just get across that finish line. and maybe look for a draw.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is... you say they have one more chance, it's like half a chance, right? I mean, it's not even realistic that this could ever work. But they're going to have to tag the point. Someone's going to have to rush in here. They've got just enough time to walk up to it, but then they're going to have to use Trance to tag it, and that's going to be when WGS is like, ha, support old efficiency, watch out. They actually didn't have to use it yet.
Let's see, stun coming through, they go for the shatter. Finally not locking down too many. Transcendents are going to be out here from Hiley. Rain trying to be building up for that sound barrier. Still going to be 15% away. Wiley nearly going down. Will be finished off. Schröder finds the hit. Grab, bigger bang combo ready to go here for WGS. Bombs out from Krong. Not going to find anything. Rain getting burned down. Barely manages to stay alive as Arrow rejoins here with the Wrecking Ball. Krong now going to be popped out of the mech. DPI finding him with the self-destruct. Graviton Surge locking up the remaining members. They'll go ahead, finish them off. OT will tick down, and WGS will be able to move up 2-0 here in this set. O2 Ardiant unable to finish on Numbani, unable to get a win on the board here. So we're halfway done the series, and WGS can feel pretty darn good about dodging a three-way tie scenario.
Yep. Same with Geekstar at home. You know, very much a scary situation for a team that thought to themselves, okay, our playoffs are guaranteed. Well, certainly not until this moment. WGS looks really happy with themselves. Very historic moment for the organization as well, who's had 2 rough seasons of Contenders back-to-back, being called basically the weakest team in the entire tournament twice in a row, despite, I think, in my opinion, big leaps between Season 1 and Season 2 for the squad in general. New roster coming in with the best of their players being poached into other teams, including O2, Hiley, and Arrow, both former players of WGS. The sub, Decal, as well, a former WGS player, playing against the new rookie squad here. But it's just been massive improvement week after week for WGS Armament. And it is really, really paying off now. Hiley had a few rough trances, you know, throughout Numbani, and WGS has kept that old efficiency over and over and over again until the end. Same to be said of Achilios, really. A lot of that due to O2 trying the Widow Tracer start on Ruins, for example. But now it's smooth sailing from here.
Yep, pretty much. WGS, one more, just go ahead and lock down that match victory. And they're looking pretty good right now. O2 team can't really hold a candle. They were looking so good, though, actually, on that attack at the beginning. Great start. Wiley completely turning around his performance after a very rough time on Achilios, then a very rough defensive round on Numbani.
Yeah.
The attack looked so strong from him. He was getting picks left and right. And then something happened, and it just reverted. I'm not really sure quite what happened there. But either way, rough tidings for O2 Ardiant, but there's still more games to be played. So we're going to go to a quick break, guys, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes for the rest of the series.